Luce Canon. Is Luce Canon a hoodster? A product of them South Central streets? Or a figment of his own imagination? I don't know. Does anyone know? When you hear him speak, he is the most crippinest crip to have ever cripped before. But when you hear people from that section speak, they've never heard of him. Whoever he is and whatever he is, he talked himself into a federal indictment and is now surrounded by men who could give a damn about some internet clout. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I'm going to be talking about Luce Canon. Huh? The craziness that is Luce Canon. The clout chasingness that is Luce Canon. Who is Luce Canon? They say he grew up in Fontana. He says he's from Rolling 60s. He's told many stories about doing dirt for Big U. He implicated Big U in a lot of things and implicated himself in every bit of it. I'm right there along with him. I remember when he went on No Jumper and he was trying to convince the masses, with the authorities watching, that Big U had something to do with Nipsey Hussle's death. He said if you watch his reality series, it was going to show up in that series. It never showed up in that series. I don't even know if there was a series. But it was a good promotion scheme. A promotion scheme that got the feds looking at him. So the feds rounded up a bunch of Crips. A lot of the information that probably got their investigation started and going and piqued the interest, the information came from social media. Luce Canon couldn't stop building his own persona. The most crippinest crip ever. Instead of going and seeing Big U, he talked about Big U. And by talking about Big U, people tuned in because some of the stuff was funny. All the yelling sweetie and all that, it was funny. He talked about other people who were actually known in the streets. And he was trying to build street credibility on the internet by talking about dudes who are known in the streets. Since his incarceration, his wife has decided to pick up where he left off. Fantastical Tales. The latest one, she said that Luce Canon had been moved on by 5 Mexicans. So let's back up a second and let's look at what has been. She waited too long, by the way. What has been a huge numbers getter for a lot of content creators? A Mexican stabbing Tory Lanez. It was everywhere. It had everybody's attention until people found out that the guy that stabbed Tory Lanez was a weirdo and that Tory Lanez was on a weirdo yard. It died down. Now we have all the protests in LA and in other places. And so once again, the attention's on Mexicans. You have the Tory Lanez thing. Now you have the protests. So Luce Canon must have concocted a whole story. Hey, let's jump on this. It's hot right now. And his wife is doing what the husband wants. I would assume that it was his game plan. But let's think about it for a minute. Why would 5 Mexicans move on one guy? Because he's the most crip in his crib. It takes 5 dudes to move on him. And why was he the only black out there? Because even if people don't like him, if a Mexican moves on a black, the blacks are going to defend that individual. And then after it's all settled and said and done, figure out what the hell was that over. But according to this blue superhero, it took 5 people to move on him. If you count my YA time and add it to my prison time as an adult in the CDC, that's almost 30 years incarcerated. I never saw anybody move on anybody and send 5 shooters. The most I've ever seen where they send them on somebody is 3. And that's because they want to make sure he's dead. 5, everybody's in each other's way. The story's too fantastical. Sounds made up, once again. Second, Luce Cannon's wife said that a rep, wherever Luce Cannon was being housed and wherever the incident occurred, the rep called her. So they didn't lock it down or nothing. They just 5 Mexicans jump on 1 black, and the cops are like, there's nothing. Run program. Run phone calls. And then on top of that, how did he get your phone number? Mrs. Cannon? Or Ms. Cannon? Because I think he's already still actually married. How did he get your phone? Do they all have your phone number? Luce Cannon just gives your phone number to everybody? If anything happens to me, call Charisse. And so I saw Charisse say that she called the NCAAP, but they can't get in there. They can't find out what's going on with Luce Cannon. And then she called the governor. Yeah, she has that phone number too. And the governor can't get in there, and he can't figure out what's going on. And meanwhile, Luce Cannon's real wife made a video. And in the video, she said, none of this happened. They're all on lockdown because of the protests in downtown LA. The irresponsibility of people, knowing that when the Tory Lanez thing popped up, there was a lot of people saying that these two group segments need to go at it now because of a Canadian dude. Not even American, let alone somebody from the streets in California, but because of somebody from Canada who was on a weirdo yard and got hit by a weirdo, everybody was supposed to just do something about it. So now this, say the Mexicans did something again, 5 of them at that, you should have said 15, fuck it. If you're going to tell the story, man, tell the story good. Truth doesn't matter. We know Luce Cannon doesn't let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? But it's very irresponsible. If you don't live in one of those communities, don't try to stir the pot there. Let everybody live, man. I mean, if you don't get caught up in any reality, I guess it'd be funny. But because of the potential of violence, we can't laugh at it. You got to do better. As a couple, you should be able to come up with like one coherent, one plausible scene, right? But that's my video for the day, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.